On the program tonight, we dig deep into the alleged certificate forgery involving the Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology, Uche Nnaji. Did he truly graduate with a bachelor's degree in microbiology and biochemistry from the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, in 1985, as contained in the certificate he submitted during his ministerial screening and confirmation after nomination by President Bola Tinubu in 2023? This is Beyond the Headlines. I am Abosedi Adeniyi, standing in for Nifemi Oguntoye. Welcome to the program, everyone. Tonight, we throw our searchlight as we seek to find answers to Nigerians' quest to know what transpired between 1985, when Uche Nnaji allegedly graduated from UNN, and now. Is there any political undertone to the scandal rocking the minister? Special advisor to the minister, Robert Ngu, says the accusation is politically motivated, pointing fingers at the governor of Enugu State as a sponsor of the scandal. According to him, the governor sees Mr. Nnaji as a threat to his second-term governorship ambition.
Let me state clearly, and for the record, Chief Uche Nnaji is a proud alumnus of the University of Nigeria, UNN, having graduated in July 1985 with a bachelor's degree of science in microbiology combined with biochemistry with second-class honors lower division. Now we talk about false narrative and political intrigue. The question every Nigerian should ask is simple and logical. What changed between December 2023 and October 2025? What changed? Apart from the fact that the two card-carrying members of People's Democratic Party, PDP, suddenly emerged as acting vice-chancellor and then vice-chancellor of the university. It is on that same political foundation that Premium Times built its false story. By academic convention worldwide, the registrar, not the vice-chancellor, is the custodian of all examination and graduation records. Any attempt by a vice-chancellor to assume that role is an aberration in university protocol, and in this case, an obvious political overreach.
Senior Special Assistant to Governor Peter Mbah of Enugu State on New Media, Reuben Onyishi, joins me on the program to respond to allegations linking Governor Mbah to the scandal. Thanks for joining us, Mr. Onyishi.
Thank you very much.
Well, the news is everywhere. Governor Mbah has been accused of sponsoring the certificate forgery allegation against Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology, Uche Nnaji. How do you respond to that?
That is quite very curious, because Dr. Mbah has no reason to sponsor anything against Uche Nnaji. Uche Nnaji is not a threat to Governor Mbah or Governor Mbah's second-term ambition. It says that even if you look at the 2023 election, Uche Nnaji came a distant third. He scored 14,000 votes. Mbah sponsoring that kind of a thing against him. So I don't know. He's just clutching at the straws. You know, if you have an issue, you know, the Nigerians are asking questions. So you go and answer the questions and stop clutching at the straws. Mbah has no reason to sponsor anything against him. He is not a threat to us. He doesn't have any political capital. He even lost in his polling unit in the last election. So there is no reason for that. It's just a mere allegation that has no basis. You know. So, but the question is that Nigerians are asking questions. You know, they said you forged your degree certificate. And the university has said, confirmed that they have no record of your graduation. So what you do is to answer the questions that are cropping up instead of clutching at the straw, looking for whom to hold responsible for his predicament.
Mr. Onyishi, as someone who wields some level of federal might, I'm talking about Uche Nnaji now, don't you actually think there could be some element of correctness in his claim that Governor Ba sees him as a threat to his second-term governorship ambition?
That's what I have said, that we don't see him as a threat. We understand the politics to the question. So there is nothing like that. No. With Mba's performance speaks for him. His performance speaks for him. He has performed extraordinarily well that the people of Enugu State cannot even think of any other thing than to get him elected. So we wouldn't bother about Uche Nnaji. No. We wouldn't bother about him because I told you that he scored 14,000 votes in the last election. So what has changed? Nothing.
But would you rather, Mr. Onyishi, that Mr. Nnaji
you are talking about minister? Yes.
All right, Mr. Onyishi, I was saying that would you rather that Mr. Nnaji was actually in your camp, even if it's just 14,000 votes, to add to what your principal has to consolidate on his level of authority and acceptance in Enugu State? Would you rather that happened?
No, Mba doesn't need Uche Nnaji for validation. He doesn't need Uche Nnaji for anything because Mba is an institution and a huge consciousness of performance. Do you understand? And the people of Enugu know that. So we don't need Uche Nnaji for anything. Addition or not addition, no. But well, it's significant. I don't think he has any political capital to merit our looking in his direction for that.
Mr. Onyishi, we do need to take a break now. When we return from that break, we'll take this conversation further, especially also looking into allegations now that the acting vice chancellor of the University of Nigeria in Nsukka, which allegedly released the certificate being peddled by Mr. Nnaji, and which claims it did not release anything to him, that the acting VC actually is a card-carrying member of the PDP. Stay with us, everyone. Reuben Onyishi is my guest tonight on the program, and we are x-raying the certificate forgery scandal rocking the Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology, Uche Nnaji. He has now pointed accusing fingers at the governor of Enugu State, Peter Mba. So the acting vice chancellor, Mr. Onyishi, of the UNN, is reported to be a card-carrying member of your party, the PDP. Don't you agree that naturally this predisposes him to, favorably acting for party members?
Is that these are professors. We are talking about the acting vice chancellor was Professor Ujam, who in himself was a scholar, and then the substantive vice chancellor that was recently elected is a scholar and an administrator. So they are not card-carrying members of the PDP. It is a lie. And the fact is that...
Can you defend that? Can you defend that anywhere and everywhere, Mr. Onyishi, that they are not card-carrying members of your party?
Of course, yes, because Professor Twanya was a SSG in the previous administration. Doesn't make him a card-carrying member of the PDP. He wasn't. He was just an administrator that was invited to serve. And after serving, he went back to the university. He's an academic, a professor of law. And then he vied for the vice chancellorship of the university and succeeded. So the fact is that the university, that is not even the issue in the first place. Because people are asking questions, and these questions are not being answered. Okay, Uche Nnaji claimed that. Meanwhile, as at June 1986, he was still writing supplementary examination because he failed virology, MBC 431. He failed it. He wrote the supplementary in September 1985 and failed. And then the university wrote him that he failed and asked that he should pay 4 naira to write the receipt, which he did. He has had 1986. So, but the certificate he submitted claims he graduated July 1985. So how could that be? These are the questions we should be asking. And meanwhile, when he contested for governorship in Enugu State, that was in 2003, he handed in a certificate, and that was his WASC, West African Examination Council certificate. You understand? He purposely didn't submit that. He didn't submit the degree. He didn't submit NYSC. But during senior screening, he submitted degree and submitted NYSC, which are found to be contradictory. Which of course, he need to answer these questions. These are the questions instead of clutching at the straws and claiming that the governor.
What if he simply failed? I mean, what if he simply withheld?
That's not the issue. The issue is that it have been forged, and there are incontrovertible evidence to that. So these are the questions you should answer. Now, yesterday he called a press conference, and we were happy about it because we thought he was going to be there to answer the questions. All right, but he chickened out. He wasn't there. He sent a proxy, and then the proxy couldn't even answer the barrage of questions that were being raised. So it's quite unfortunate. It's quite unfortunate. And,
well, Mr. Onyishi,
he should clear his name.
Mr. Onyishi, I believe people have media aides, they have spokespersons, so they could probably speak for them when they are unavailable, which is the reason you're also the one on the program today and not Governor Peter Mba. He could as well have been here to respond to these questions that you're helping him fill now. But talking about some of the points and allegations that his spokesperson, Robert Ugu, raised on Monday, he mentioned that your party has only managed to stay in power for the last 26 years because you do not want competition and you go after whoever will challenge you. You discredit such people, you find a way to make them have no party to compete under. Is that, or could that be what your party is doing with Uche Nnaji?
That's quite laughable. There is nothing like that. How do we go after the opposition? Whom have we gone after? We have not gone after anyone. As a matter of fact, even when in the last election, we were the ones being maligned when Chijoke Edoga raised the question of NYSC certificate, which my principal was investigated and found to be innocent. You understand? He was vindicated, and NYC was berated for such unseemly indiscretion by the courts. So I don't see anyhow the PDP had ever maligned anyone and opposition or anything like that. No, of course no. But like I said, Uche Nnaji is just clutching at the straw. You understand? Trying to run away from the main issue. The main issue is that there is this allegation of certificate forgery. And there are evidence showing that you likely, or there's this allegation. So he let him come and clear his name and stop running from pillar to post. Clear your name.
But Mr. Onyishi, is there, I mean, it's your principle.
In an affidavit, he said that UNN did not issue him the certificate. Sorry?
Yes, I was trying to make a point, but apparently you didn't hear me. So let me just head on with that. I'm curious to ask, the base question in this. If your principal is behind the revelation, because now, the scandal is on and then your principal is being fingered. And now that you have even gone on also to further, explain and raise instances of when he refused to submit this particular certificate. And it just makes people begin to ask questions whether Governor Peter Mbah actually has anything to do with this revelation.
Whether what?
Whether Governor Peter Mbah has anything to do with the revelation of this scandal rocking the minister.
No, like I said, we don't have anything to do with it. But as human beings, questions are concerned that these questions are raised, and they are. Uche Nnaji is from Enugu. And he's a minister of Enugu extraction. And that is why all these issues are coming up. In the affidavit, he said UNN didn't issue him the certificate. So who did? If UNN didn't issue you the certificate, the one you submitted to the Senate, who did issue it? These are the questions. We are concerned, not maliciously, but the fact is that these questions have to be answered. And if he's not answering them, it's not helping him at all. We wanted to help him, let him see how he could answer these questions that are coming up. That would be helpful.
So do you actually mean you wanted, or you want to help Mr. Nnaji, or you really want to expose him?
No. It's not about, no. How are we exposing him? We're not exposing him. The questions we are asking is, you said you graduated in 1985, and as at 1986, you are still writing exam. So, and the certificate you purport to have obtained carries 1985. So, what is the issue? What are the problems? These are the things. It's not about exposing anybody. We're not interested. We're not interested in exposing anybody. But as Nigerians, we are looking at the loopholes that need to be. But you know that forgery is not good, and it's not sending good signals to the upcoming ones. You understand? If you forge certificate, then what do you expect the people who look onto you to do? So the earlier he absolves his name of this, the better. That's what we are saying.
All right, but how do you see this play? What impact is this scandal having on your camp and the ambition of your principal, Peter Mbah?
It has nothing to do with us. This scandal has got absolutely nothing to do with us. Okay? Peter Mbah is not involved in any way. Someone was alleged to have forged his certificate. So he should carry his cross and clear his name of it. It doesn't add anything to us. It doesn't take anything away from us. He should handle the issue. As a matter of fact, this is someone who has been going about carrying campaigns of calumny against the Mbah administration. There's nothing he has not done. He pay people to write all manner of things and all that against the administration, condemning all that the governor is doing and all that. We are not really bothered, because that kind of politics doesn't pay, because everybody can see what Mbah is doing in Enugu State. All right. So, but now that the has come on his side, we think that he should go and cut the pamphlet ripen on his head. That's what we think he should do. It has absolutely nothing to do with us.
But if suddenly Mr. Nnaji chooses, for instance, to switch camps and join your party, the PDP, what would be your reaction?
Like I said, it's immaterial. It changes nothing. I told you that he doesn't have any political capital. So if he joins PDP, how would he even join PDP? He's a minister, unless he resigns based on this scandal. Because in normal circumstances, that's what he should do. He should resign, you understand, and make way for a thorough investigation. So if he resigns and joins PDP, good and fine. But it has no significance. It makes no significant change, because I told you he couldn't even win his polling unit. So somebody who couldn't win his polling unit, what is he coming to offer us? Nothing. So, but we are accommodating. Anybody who wants to join us can join us. That's it.
Well, we are making efforts to get the minister himself to actually come on the program and come on TVC News and explain his side of the story. We are also making efforts to get the reporter who worked on this story to come tell us, what he learned, what he saw, and what is behind the stories, just so that we get different perspectives on the matter. Senior Special Assistant to Governor Peter Mbah on New Media, Reuben Onyishi, thank you very much for your time on the program.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, that's our program today. We thank you for watching. Watch a repeat broadcast at midnight and at 6 a.m. I am Aboseti Adenu Adremi. Bye for now.